actually had to go look it up because I forgot. I haven't seen The Wizard of Oz since I was a kid. I'm usually pretty good at remembering all the stuff with movies, but I couldn't remember exactly who exposed the man behind the curtain, The Wizard of Oz, and it was Toto. So I have been doing Toto's work when it comes to China for a very long period of time, and it keeps adding up. These are all see I told you so's. China's the whole facade, like I talked about The Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain. China is mighty powerful. It's going to grow. It's going to take over the world. We should all fear it. Oh, what if they do a reserve currency with all of these other weak countries? And I'm like, really? And I see some of these things and these stories that they put out there to frighten the folks on television. Something in your water will kill you. More news at 11. That type of stuff, which they've done with China for a very long period of time, and it was just absolutely ridiculous to me. Because you take a look at the numbers that they would be putting out for years and years and years, and anybody with half a brain knew that this was not realistic. Or just, most recently talking about, they're going to get together with the BRICS countries. They're going to do an alternative currency to the dollar. And I'm like, that is not going to happen. No country with, you don't even half a brain, quarter of a brain is going to say, hey, yeah, we're going to use a default currency. We're going to align with China. It's not even a free floating currency, but neither here nor there. Anyway, the whole China story is going backwards. Back in the 60s and 70s, you had Mao Zedong put in all sorts of nonsensical government programs, cultural revolution, all of this stuff that was a disaster for the country. They took a turn. Nixon propped open a door in the 1980s. Their economy started to grow. Basically, their share of the global economy was below 2% in 1980. It grew to 18.4% in 2021. And it's true that no country has ever risen so far so fast. Again, that's been reversing. That has been reversing, and actually the country's going backwards big time. It's now down to 17%. And that's the largest drop that they've had since the 1960s. Now, let me put this into perspective. The world economy as a whole is growing between 2022, 2023, around $8 trillion. The world economy as a whole is growing. China's supposed to be this growth economy. Their economy is getting bigger. You want to know who grabbed 45% of that additional GDP growth? We did. We accounted for 45%. The other emerging nations counted for a little over 50%. Does that sound like a country that's putting its best foot forward? That is going to be a real threat. Again, command and control does not work. It fails every single time. And here again, you got China's property sector needing more government support as crisis deepens. No, that's the last thing that China's property sector needs. Again, this is moronic journalists here in the United States. This is off CNBC, for crying out loud. Well, what do you think got them in this situation? The government got them in this situation, subsidizing the property sector, getting involved where they shouldn't get involved. Anyway, we had same problems here. Why do you think we have such a problem with student loan debt? Government. Why do you think we have such a problem with health care? Oh, well, it's Obamacare. The government getting more and more involved. And these are the areas that are going to fail. Now, China based its almost entire economy, domestic economy, based upon the value of property. And how the various different municipalities throughout the entire country, they wouldn't charge taxes. They would sell off property to people. And that's how they raised revenue. And people invested in this, thinking that it was going to go up, 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 and up forever. Well, that doesn't happen. And it's collapsing. And their demographics are collapsing. So again, the idea, and again, this is CNBC putting this forward, that the government needs to step in. No. The government needs to step away. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing to do. That you have to let the entire market reset. And there's going to be pain involved. We went through this during the Great Recession, where everybody and their mothers, hey, yeah, I'm going to own 2, 3, 4 pre-construction condos and flip them. And I can't tell you how many people, I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. And you know what the worst part was? Is that if they did it one time successfully, if they got in, started flipping stuff early, then all of a sudden they thought that they were like the greatest real estate investor of all time. Oh, we all know people who did this and then ended up becoming broke, busted, and disgusted with the entire venture. Yeah. Well, again, China's going to have to deal with the pain in regards to this. And again, the United States, if we're smart, what you try to do, okay, is you see an opening here. You see an opening because there's weakness here, not where you're trying to destroy a country, whatever it may be. You look to obviously get them to change the way they're doing things because, again, you don't want to have confrontation with this country by any stretch of the imagination. Nobody wants that. And again, this is a country, and make no bones about it, I don't care what they're telling you on TV, is weakening and weakening quickly. WatchDog on WallStreet.com.